like just see me constantly walking back and forth because I don't know what to do. So anyway, so what is an asset? Definition. An asset is a resource of the firm that will benefit the firm in the future. Right? So let's name some assets for me. Let's think of how they fit into the definition. Cash. You have cash. It's a resource of the firm. It will benefit you in the future. Why? You can buy things that are, right? You can buy inventory, right? You can pay your bills. That's a benefit, right? That keeps you going. Got to pay those bills in order to stay in business, right? Name another asset. Inventory, accounts receivable, equipment. These are all great ones. So let's start with equipment, right? Equipment, a resource of the firm that will benefit the firm in the future. Why? You can produce inventory on it. That's great, right? You can't be productive if you don't have a desk to sit at work, right? It benefits you to have somebody who has a desk to sit at so they can be productive in working, which helps the company move efficiently, right? You said accounts receivable. Accounts receivable will benefit the firm in the future. Why? Turns into cash, right? That's your bread and butter right there. You need that money so you bring in money from those receivables. What did you say? Inventory, right? Why does inventory benefit you? You can sell it and make money, right? So these are all different kinds of assets that all will benefit the firm in the future for different reasons, right? Okay, but they all fit that definition of an asset. All right, so I have some examples of assets, but you already know them because you said mostly all of them. Cash, accounts receivable, investments is an asset, and are assets, right? Like stocks and things, we said inventory. Prepaid expenses. Prepaid expenses are an asset. I can see maybe, especially people who haven't done this in a while, prepaid expenses, that can be confusing because there's the word expense in it. That is still an asset. Prepaid expenses are an asset. What would be an example of something you might prepay? Insurance, of course, right? They give you that insurance, right? You pay your premium for the year, but now somebody owes you a benefit for the whole year. It's a resource of that firm that will benefit you in the future, right? Because you're now covered by insurance for a period in the future. So prepaid expenses are an asset. So make sure, again, I can just see that might be confusing to some people. Fixed assets, we already talked about. Okay? All right, so let's talk a little bit more about assets. Before I get to this slide, even though most of you maybe have this already, I don't know what I erased and didn't erase on the slides. Tell me something else that's important about assets. What's their balance? What's normally their balance side? Debit. They normally have a debit balance, right? And do they disappear at the end of the year? No, they're permanent accounts. So again, I think some people get confused with this, permanent accounts versus temporary accounts, so I'll just give you a simple way of thinking about it. So we all have bank accounts, right? Okay? At the end of the year, if you have $150 in your bank account, hopefully you have more than that, but I know, some of us, we don't have more than that. It is what it is, right? On December 31st, you have $150. On January 1st, does the bank say, thanks? Thanks for that $150. I feel like we have a lot more money now. Do they say that to you? No, you get your statement January 31st, and it hopefully still has at least $150 in it, unless you took money out of the bank, right? Does that bank account ever go away? Not unless you close your account, right? And the balance just is what it is as you move forward in time, depending upon what you take out or you put in, right? So that's cash. Your bank account is cash. That's a permanent account. So if you ever get confused, what's permanent, what's temporary, think of your bank account. And then you think that's cash, that's an asset. So assets must be permanent accounts.